Now, since I've done all my preparation, which you've seen in the last few videos, I'm going to remind him of the pad, like going off the other side. And then I'm gonna do some leaning like I did before, and then I'm gonna actually get off the opposite side that I got on. So I'm just letting him stand here with the pad on, and then I'll go ahead and have that move around and go off of his left side. So I'm on his right side, and then we'll, yep, there we go. He's fantastic. I love the body language there. He just can casually push it off. He's got a hind leg rested. He's got his head and neck nice and low. Perfect. Like, that looks fantastic. So I'm really happy with that. Again, same reaction. That looks great. Yeah, I mean, if your horse is not, if it is worried about that, then I would definitely do some more work before you decide to jump off the other side. But yeah, I want him just relaxed, cool with everything with the pad, and then I can go ahead and work on desensitizing him to me actually doing that. I'm not going to jump off quite as intense as the pad, but I am going to slide off the other side. So I just want him used to seeing something in one eye and then on the other eye. That's the goal. So I just sat on him just for a second, just to remind him, hey, like, we're working on mounting, and then I'll go ahead and get him ready for that. So he's just picking up his head to get his treat. So that's what, yeah, as you can see there. So I do have some things to work on. Like, he's more excited about this, that, so I don't really necessarily want that head lift and like that tense like turnaround. I want him to be more relaxed, and I'm working on trying different reinforcers for him, and he does have a head down cue, which is very handy. So just reminding him that I'm getting on. And I probably didn't necessarily need to break it down that much since we did do a lot of mounting stuff. I probably could have done some, just like a couple, like I could have sat on him for a few seconds and then went ahead and gotten off. But at the time I wanted to make sure he was like ready for this. So, and it was probably more me than him. But I just went ahead and moved the pad out of the way, put him back to the block, and then I got my other feed bag because I didn't feel comfortable moving around on him that much with that other pack. So I just got the other one so I can just grab hay from it, from off the ground. But I need to be like comfortable enough to move on him because I had that other one that was kind of across my chest, and I didn't want to press up against him and like worry him and make a different noise. So I just went ahead and switched it. But yeah, I'm leaning on that other side. And then working on jumping off. I love that head down, that looks really nice. Jump off the front because my, there goes my phone. My goal here is going to be, I'm going to get on this side and then I'm going to kind of slide off on that left side and be jumping, not necessarily jumping, but sliding off of him up by his shoulder. That's my plan. So just in case, if he were to be worried, I'd be up by his shoulder, like I was just a second ago when I came off the same right side. So but I love this body language here again. This looks great. I'm just leaning on the other side. I probably could have moved around like a bit more with my legs and kind of prepared him a bit more like that. I think it was windy. I think that's why my camera is shaking so much. I didn't really notice that as much when I was editing. But kind of leaning over him. He's great with the mounting. And there we go. Stop. I thought it was going to be worse than that. And I'm just going to give him a jackpot here because he was fantastic. I don't even think he didn't even care. Like, I was going to say he didn't notice. He did notice, but he was just like, that's fine. He didn't pick up his head. He didn't do anything. So I'm really, really happy with that because that's a big thing, like, to increase the amount of time that I sit on him and like get off and on different sides and hop off at different times. All of that's going to be important for riding, just, just in case, like, if something goes wrong, I can get off either side. I don't need to just get off one side, and I can get off from different angles, and I can jump off and push off of him and move around on him and do all these things that I need to do to ride him. And this is just one of those big steps in that direction. So I was pretty excited about that. And there we go. And slide off like we've always done. So that looks great. I'm really happy. I'm just gonna cruise through some of the in-between footage and just fast forward through some of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask him to do the same thing on the other side. So I did a few good ones from me getting on from the right side and getting off the left side, so I'm gonna switch around. And he was a little confused. He's like, oh, but we did it over here, so we're gonna keep doing that. So I just gotta guide him back around. He knows how to follow the hand target, back around, get him in position, and then we'll try again. He has a tendency of doing that, especially like that was very reinforcing for him. I had just given him a jackpot, so he was like, oh, I'm gonna go back to the position I was just in because it was very reinforcing. So go same thing here, like we did on the other side, and pop off. I didn't even like try like sit on him for a second and lean over doing that. I was like, he's fine with it on the other side. In this case, like, and I know in a lot of videos I was like, oh, I went too fast for him. I think he's totally fine with this. I don't think he needed that prep of me sitting on him for a little bit and then leaning over and moving and then getting off, because he was so fine with it and we had just done it. So for a caster specifically, he didn't need that. A different horse might, like, for depending on the day and depending on the situation, how they're feeling about things. Like Atlas would be a good candidate for that. Like, I'd probably do that with him unless he was being fantastic that day. But like, it's kind of a day thing too. Like, if the next day caster's a little tight, he might need that too. But that was fantastic, very casual, and I'm clicking as I'm going over him. So not when I'm sitting on top of him. As I start to slide down on that right side of him, that's when I'm clicking. Hopefully you can hear it in the video. And then I go ahead and feed him, and I'm just going to give him a jackpot on top of here. I do that pretty often so he's not eating in the dirt. And then the next clip is just from my next session, and I'm just doing the same exact thing that we were doing here. So this is the next session. I don't know if it's the next day or not, but it's the next session I filmed, and we're just going to be doing the same thing. So I'm just going to do the regular prep real quick and hop off. That looks great. So it's stuck in his mind too, so the next day I can just come out and he's just the same as he was the day before, so that's fantastic. A little lost there. He didn't know where he was supposed to go. That's okay. He does know how to stay next to the mounting block, so I pass up to the mounting block. He just thought he was supposed to be like between the mounting block and the cone. So I'm just reminding him, like, okay, we're gonna do some mounting stuff. I'm gonna sit on your back. Pretty relaxed head turn there. Move my legs around and slide off. That looks great. Yep. And then I'll just kind of add some more things to it and some duration to the mounting.